And we are live. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. I like music, so got me some new theme music. Play a little bit of it. Get, get the energy going. Got some good information to talk about today. Seems like it's been a long time since I've been here with y'all, but we're gonna have a good time today. We're gonna have a good time today. So, welcome to the Create Your New Life Real Estate Training powered by Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. Typically, we are at 11:30 on Thursdays. But for the last couple of weeks, last week I was out of town, and we're going to talk about that, the conference. And then yesterday was the Houston Black Real Estate Association Thursday monthly lunch and learn. So that's why we had to push it back to Friday. But again, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's one of those things where we understand that the invitation goes out to more than just Brooks and Davis agents. So if you're not a Brooks and Davis agent, we want to thank you for joining us today. We are always looking to educate and empower the industry, and we're always looking for talented individuals. So if you're ever thinking about coming on board, there's a way that we can assist you. We're always looking for people to be a part of our organization. So co-founder Mr. Larry W. Brooks is always looking to sit down and talk to people about their future. At any point, for my agents that are on, Mr. Green and Mrs. Powell, and anybody else that comes on board, you can stop me at any moment. We can engage in this thing. You know, these trainings are meant to be, back and forth, not necessarily me just running my mouth all the time. So as always, we start with our pending board. So let's go ahead and get that going and see how we're looking this week. So again, like I said, we've been out a couple of weeks, but still counting them numbers. So let's see what we're looking like. All right, so the current pending board number is, actually that number is wrong. Look at that. Did not update the board today, but I can do it real quick. I somewhat updated it. So let me make this update real quick. So the number is actually more than that, and that's always a good thing. And this is going to be as of today. All right. It's a good thing about Google. You can make them on-the-spot changes. So boom. There we go. So that's the most current pending board number. So as you can see, we're almost 1 million over what we were the last time we met, which is always a good thing. But we can always have more. So let's get some more pending, more deals under contract. We can kind of go from there. So how does this adjust our standings? So Kim brought a deal, as well as Kim and Miss Brandy Williams both brought transactions to us over the last couple of weeks. And the transaction that Kim brought actually catapulted her to be the #1 Brooks and Davis agent. So congratulations, Kim. That's the thing about these calculations once a week and looking at these numbers, because again, it's not about who's the top agent. It's the top producing agent. So who's the person that is actively engaging, getting deals under contract, and that's why we look at that number. So congratulations, Kim. Brandy, with her new production, brought her in at #2, and then we rounded out with Ricardo, Carroll, and Sydney Ely as our top 5 as of today. So congratulations, guys. All right, are you ready for some football? I can't tell, because we are not getting this production on there fast enough. If we don't get the 4.1 million, then nobody gets the tickets. And look, I want to go to the game. So I want to go to the game. I need you guys to buckle in, get out there. Let's get some stuff under contract, right? any full-time agent, if you're a full-time agent and you're not making at least 100 contacts a week, if you're not getting deals under contract, this is a pipeline business, then you're not putting yourself in a position to make any money. So let's do it. Let's get this up. Let's get it under contract. Let's get caught up. Let's let these next 7 days, we make up the $1.2 million that we need to make up. So when I see you guys on next Thursday, we're going to be above our goal. So as of right now, that's where we are with our contest that we're running. And look, man, we got 42 agents. So between 42 of y'all, we should be able to get this number, get this number easy. So come on, let's knock it. Let us knock it out. Okay, so we had a ready to buy workshop on last Saturday. I wasn't able to attend, so I reached out to you guys, reached out on GroupMe, reached out on the email to see who wanted to go to the ready to buy workshop and get the leads. First of all, these ready to buy workshops, especially for you brand new agents, is a great opportunity for you to learn the business and to learn the ins and outs when it comes from a transactional side. So yeah, there's an opportunity to go get you a lead, but if you don't even know what to do with it or how to work it from a transaction management standpoint, then even that is a waste of time. So I would recommend any brand new agent that's never attended a workshop to attend one of these ready to buy workshops. Now, it is something that Mr. Brooks and myself talked about doing on a consistent basis. So we'll probably be doing these things maybe once a month, once every 2 months, because it's a great marketing avenue for our clients and customers to provide them an opportunity where we have a workshop on a consistent basis. So, but I think the workshop went well. Brina Fairbanks, one of our agents, actually attended the workshop, and she was able to receive a pre-approved buyer who showed up. So look, a lot of times it's just about you showing up to the game. A lot of, you guys are sitting on the sidelines, you're sitting on the bench, and you're not even coming into the stadium. And sometimes it's just about showing up. So be on the lookout. Like, we're sending out opportunities for people to go and pick up leads. Hey man, look, if you're not doing anything, the workshop was only 3-4 hours on a Saturday morning. If you're not doing anything, you need to go there and get this business, because business is just not going to hop in your pocket. You have to go out there, you have to engage, you have to put yourself in a position to be successful. And again, we're going to talk some more about that today because of the information that I got at that conference. All right, Realtor Recruitment Rally. So look, we still have that going on. Any agent that you bring in, you get a 5% override of their production, because we are trying to get to 50 agents by the end of the year. Now, one of the things that we did was that we created a new career webpage with Brooks and Davis. So when you go to our website now, there's a tab at the top that says new career. So now this is something that you can forward the link to any potentials that you may have about joining the firm, to give them information about our company, right? So we talk about what our goal is to do. Like, our goal is to develop and transform our new agents into real estate experts. Like, that's what we look to do. It speaks about our culture, which is something that we, go over on numerous occasions in our trainings and the times that we get together. We have our community videos that we do once a month. And again, if you guys are going on events and attending things, we want to include you all in our community videos. So email the activity, the name, the date, so we can go ahead and plug you into the slideshow. So as we're doing these things once a month, it's not just me and Brooks, and it's showing our ugly mugs on the videos. We want to see what you guys are doing as well and get you into the video. So if you're out and about, you're doing something, send us a picture, even if it's just one picture and the date, or you can send us a couple of pictures and we can get you plugged into the video. But again, here on the website, it shows the different months and the different community videos that we've done. Here we go. It shows our flyer for the Did You Know? And then I give an example of what one of our weekly trainings looks like. So they can actually go on there and see an example of what our weekly trainings are that you all attend every week. Some of our past event flyers, so they get an idea of what that looks like. And then we go through our commission split. So it's a great site for you to forward to agents to again put yourself in a position to where you can capitalize on the fact that we're giving away 5% of the production of that agent forever. So it's a grand opportunity for you. Again, the easiest way to recruit them is to invite the agents to our weekly trainings. Again, I can, if you give me their name and their phone number, I can plug them into a listserv that I send out every week that invites different people that we have on our radar that we want to expose to our organization, as well as inviting them to the events that we have and the events that we do. Any event that Brooks and Davis does, you can invite another agent to. We have no problem with you inviting any agents to any events that Brooks and Davis do, and it will be at no cost to them. So please do. And then, we started the ACC mentoring program again. So I picked up 4 mentors. If any mentees, if anybody's interested in partnering with me on maybe mentoring one of the mentees that I picked up, again, if they come on board and they join, then that person will go under your name. So again, there's grand opportunity here. Let's see what else we have. So let's talk a little bit about the career fair that we're going to be participating in. So there's a career fair on September 30th. Again, another opportunity for you to position yourself to take advantage of the recruitment rally and the override. So this is a career fair that Champion School of Real Estate, they do twice a year, and we participated in it every year. Actually, one of our agents, a licensed Brooks and Davis agent, actually works with Champion School of Real Estate. So we definitely like to support our family. So if you ever need to do any MCE or any renewals, we recommend Champion School of Real Estate because we want to support our agent, our family member, Ms. Kendra Wheaton, who works over there at Champions. So we're going to have a booth. Brooks and Davis is going to have a booth at Champions. And I'm going to be sending out a sign-up genius to see who's interested in working the booth. Again, today we're going to talk about how to effectively work a booth and turn that over. But for you, more specifically, as you're signing up people and you're talking to them about your experiences and you're setting them up to meet with Brooks, if that person signs up with Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, you get that override. So it's just a matter of you spending 30 minutes or an hour of your time putting yourself in a position to engage with the individuals that attend this career fair. And the career fair is heavily attended every year. So you're going to have grand opportunity to participate in this from 10 to 2. So be on the lookout for that sign-up genius. Probably send it in the group me and the email. Go ahead and sign up for your time slot and take advantage of what we're offering for you guys. So, all right. So I attended the Texas Association of Realtors Conference on last week, starting Wednesday and all the way to Saturday. I drove down to Galveston every single day because, self-improvement is one of the things that I push when it comes to, starting your real estate business. Self-improvement is something that you should be doing all the time. And then as one of our core values, continually learning, improving, and operating in the most productive manner. So since it's one of our values, continually learning, there was an opportunity. I never attended the Texas Association of Realtors Conference. I'd attended the national conference. I'd attended the Houston conferences like the Big E. They not call that Engage. And if you're not registered for that, I would highly recommend that you attend that event. It's only $100, but it's well worth the cost, especially if you look at the videos that I've done to show you how to maximize attending the event. But I definitely say you need to do that, especially when it's here in the city, so you don't have to worry about any travel costs or any lodging, travel, any of that stuff. So, but the Big E, I've attended the local conference. I've attended the national conference for the Houston Black Real Estate Association, so the Black Trade Association. I've attended that conference and other conferences as well. But I never attended the Texas conference, the Texas State Conference, so I went ahead and drove down there since it was close. And I had a really good time. I thought, first of all, I got all of my CE credits for the remainder of the year. So CE shouldn't be an issue when it's time for me to renew. I shouldn't have any issues when it comes to CE credit, because every session that I attended, I was able to get CE credit for attending that session. And these are 2-hour sessions that we were attending. So all of that stuff's taken care of. I was able to spend time on the beach. You see here in my picture, I'm hanging out on the beach, picking up seashells for my little ones, and had me some Texas Realtor sunglasses. They had like a little dance uh, after the first night, just kind of like the welcoming reception. So you're able to kind of network and unloose and unwind. That was cool. This pledge of I'm a Texas Realtor. I took a picture of this because it's something that I'm probably going to post on social media. I like the pledge. I pledge to be honest and always put my clients' interests first. I mean, this is something that we know that the consumer base wants to see from us. Like they want to see where we stand when it comes to facilitating and working with them. Was able to hang out over the ledge, drinking some free wine. They had free wine, free beer during that welcome reception. So I was able to kind of hang out on the ledge. It was such a beautiful night, though. The weather was calm, drinking some wine. And J.R. Martinez, I don't know if you all are familiar with him, but that was the young man that got his body burned in Iraq when he was 19, but he ended up playing on soap opera on My Children and then winning the Dancing with the Stars. So he came and spoke, and it was very inspirational talk. He kind of gave his story, and I was extremely inspiring. I really enjoyed it. So also, while I was at the conference, had some great classes and wanted to talk about some of the things, some of my takeaways. And this is, not even 5% of all the content that I was able to capture with my notes and with my pictures of the slides that I took. I was able to post things on social media, so I got content for days when it came to attending this event. And again, getting a return on investment from the time, the energy, and the money that you spend on attending these events is based on how you can take the information that you receive and turn it into actionable items. And we're not talking about coming back and trying to compile all the notes and things and that taking days, right? When I finished, took 4 days of content, and it took me literally maybe all of about 4 hours to organize it and get it in a format to where I could operate off of it and create actionable items for me to help grow my business, help grow Brooks and Davis, as well as help give you all information and insight that you can work off of. So we have one young lady that spoke about negotiations. And I like this slide because this was the very last slide that she had before she finished her talk. And she said, stop wanting more for people than they want for themselves. We love to bend over backwards when it comes to our clients and to customers, even to our family members and friends and people that we know. But it's really hit home because a lot of times it can be destructive when we allow people to drain our energy, drain our time, distract us from doing the things. And we may have, honest motives around it, but we have to be cognizant of that stuff. So stop. A lot of times we want more for whether it's clients, customers, we want more for them. We want them to buy a house more than they want to buy it. We want them to sell their house more than they want to sell it. And we got to stop doing that because we're not doing a service to anybody, especially not to our industry. I like this other slide. So she calls lowball offers. Like when you're working with a buyer and they want to submit a lowball offer. Like we had this one buyer and the house was listed for $350 and he wanted to come in there and offer $200,000. She said when she's talking to her sellers to deal with the emotional the emotions that come with the seller getting a lowball offer, she says she calls them ugly baby offers. I thought that was hilarious. So she put the picture of the ugly baby and said, we call Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we call that don't get emotional. We have buyers out there and we call those ugly baby offers. And the reason she called it an ugly baby offer is because of the emotional offense that's caused by the lowball offer is compared to the emotional offense of you walking up and telling somebody that their baby's ugly. So I thought that was funny. Okay, now this slide right here was in a presentation called Habits of Top Real Estate Agents. And the story around that talk was the Esperanzas, which is a team, and they went out and they interviewed top agents. Now we throw that term around, top agents, but let me quantify that. So when we say top agent, the people that she was interviewing, these were people that grossed over $1 million worth of commissionable income in a 12-month span. Okay, let me say that again. These are individuals that doing the same business that you and I do, that do real estate. They made $1 million in commissionable income in a 12-month span. Yes, there are people that are making north of $1 million a year doing real estate. It's possible. So those are top agents. And these are people that she interviewed or that they interviewed. And these are some of the things that they talked about. Now, clearly it was a 2-hour session. So this is just one slide. This is like the tip of the iceberg. And I think it's a couple of more that's going to pop up here as we continue to talk. But they work in the 20%, right? They focus on the top 20 that gives them 80% of their results. And they listed that. So they take listings, they negotiate, they prospect, and they network. Now, what you'll see, and as we talk about these top agents, that are grossing over $1 million, they're going to be echoing the things that I talk about in the realtor job description and the realtor, what I should be doing as a new agent, which are really similar. So they focus on that 20%, and this is how they categorize the 20: taking listings, negotiating contracts, prospecting, and networking. Okay, so we are what we repeatedly do. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. So again, this was in the same presentation when it comes to the habits of top real estate agents. And pretty much what she was saying is that there's not a magic pill. There's not an overnight solution to being successful. What top agents do is that they take basic principles and they do them on a consistent basis to where they create habits. So it's the habits that they operate in that's launched them to the level of success that they have. So I thought that was a great quote. Okay, so now this wasn't in the top agent slide. This talked about why we don't listen. And one of the things that was mentioned in the top agent presentation was that top agents ask great questions and they listen. They ask great questions and they listen way more than they talk, right? Well, right here where you see this parrot, one of the presenters was speaking to why we have such a horrible time listening to people. And it's because of our parrot or our inner voice. And you probably can agree to this. If somebody's talking to you a lot of times, you start talking to yourself. You can't hear them or you're not listening to them because your inner voice starts talking. And who knows what it's talking about? You may be talking about what you may reflect back on a mind vacation about what you saw on TV yesterday, or of something that you forgot that you need to do today, and you'll go boom right into that thing. Or maybe you're hungry and you start thinking about what you want to get to eat, or you maybe start thinking about what's going on behind the person, like whatever it is. Your parrot, what she called it, gets to talking, and it gets to taking you somewhere else other than in being in front of the person that's speaking to you. So one of the things that she said was, first of all, you need to be aware of the fact that you have a parrot. Be aware and admit that you have a little voice in your head that hurts you when it comes to listening to other people. Then it talks about quieting your parrot. So now that you're aware of it, you need to quiet it. Now, don't be rude to your parrot. Be kind to your parrot. Listen, your parrot is there because we have a natural inclination for fight or flight. Your parrot is a protective mechanism. See, when it's time for you to cold call, or when it's time for you to go knock on doors or do any of that stuff, deal with for sale by owners, the reason that we have a hard time doing it is because our parrot gets to telling us not to do it. Now, why is the parrot saying that? It's because it's trying to protect you. It's a protective mechanism, and it doesn't want you to deal with that rejection. The problem is the parrot's gonna keep you broke. See, the parrot is not there for you to have all this kind of success. It's just there to keep you safe. So you got to be careful of your parrot, but be kind to it because it's your friend. All right, make eye contact with the person that's talking to it and make your parrot repeat what they're saying, right? I actually did this exercise with April yesterday. I was like, look, while I'm talking to you, let's make eye contact, and then you intentionally have your parrot mimic, like what parrots do, mimic what the person's telling you, right? See, we get hearing and we get listening mixed up. Hearing, and this is something that the presenter talked about, hearing is a gift from God. It's a sense. All it is information going into your ears and to your brain. There's no intentionality about it. It's going to happen without you doing anything as long as your hearing is good. You have good hearing, or okay hearing, or just regular average hearing. You'll hear it. Listening is intentional, right? It's not something that you're just going to automatically do. You have to be intentional about it. That's why when people say that they're bad with names, it's not that you're bad with names. You're just not good at listening. That's all it is. When a person's telling you their name, you're not intentionally listening to hear what their name is because your parents talking. Okay, so follow up. Now, this did come from the top agent presentation, and they talked about follow-up stats. And before they showed this slide, and this slide says 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So what that means is that 80% of the money that's made is made after the 5th follow-up phone call. Boom. It's like your head's exploding right now because no one thinks that they need to call somebody that many times. You know why? This is what we say. Well, look, if they're not answering my phone calls or they're not returning my phone calls after the second time, that means they're not interested. Because if they were interested, they would answer my phone call. See, that's what we say. But we say that because we don't understand the statistics. These are scientifically proven statistics. This isn't just somebody pulling something out of the sky, right? That's why at Brooks and Davis, we tell you guys, you need to follow up at least 7 times. But now that I've seen this, I'm changing it. You need to follow up at least 12 times because now I see that 80% of conversions happen between the 5th and the 12th contact. That's where you get it. Now, there's some statistics that didn't come up, and she gave statistics on what's the percentages of agents and how many times they follow up. So it said that 46% of agents don't even follow up once. Half of agents, almost half of them, don't even follow up one time. So then you go to, I think it was like 10% follow up twice. No, 15% follow up twice. 10% follow up three or more times. 10% of agents follow up 3 or more times with a prospect, and it takes 5. That's where you have 80% of your chances to close them. It's crazy. It's crazy, but hey, you know, what can we say? All right. So then it also talks about them getting leverage. So, you know, leverage is 40%. If we say that 20% of their day needs to be spent on, or 80% of their day needs to be spent on those activities that make them 80% of the money, what statistics showed was that for most agents, they spend 60% of their time on administrative work and 40% of their time on what actually makes them money. So what they're doing, they're spending more time. Listen. They're spending more time on activities that don't make them money than on activities that do make them money. Is that crazy? It's got to be crazy. But that's why you have agents that are working long hours and making no money, which to me is insane. But that's our industry right now. It's a lack of development, not understanding. We're spending more time on things that don't make us money than we are on things that do make us money. Well, how do you combat that? Because these things have to get done. You combat that with leverage. Your first level of leverage is systems. Your second level of leverage is an assistant or an employee. See, you first create the system because the system is going to help you be more effective. You be more effective, and then after you become more effective, you hire the assistant, and then the assistant comes and operates the system that you put in place that you used to do. And then that frees you up to go focus on things that make you more money, right? See, the system is first going to allow you to be efficient in the administrative work. And then as you become efficient in the administrative work, that's going to free up time. And then when you hire the assistant to work the system, that's going to free up even more time. And hopefully you get to the point to where 80% of your day is on items that are making you money. Okay. All right. So look, I told you that it was going to talk about some stuff that I talk about all the time, which is, you know, the Brooks and Davis, you know, where agents should start, or the job description, right? So, you know, they talked about organization. They talked about top agents having calendars and being organized. They talked about them having CRMs. They talked about top agents lead generating. That's that 20%. Talked about the lead follow-up. You know, and talk about that. Talked about negotiating contracts. That's in the 20%, right? One of the things they said about self-improvement was that top agents have a thirst for knowledge. That was the term that they used, a thirst for knowledge. So listen, the stuff that I tell you guys to do on a consistent basis, again, I didn't make this stuff up. This isn't something that came out of the magical brain of Michael G. Davis. This is information that I've received out of my time being in this business, being around, masterminding with top agents, people that are killing it in this business. And these are the habits that these people have created. Right. Okay. So make a long story short, I enjoyed the Texas Association of Realtors conference. You should go to a conference. You will really enjoy it. All right. So as we get into the next part of our talk today. Now, if you all follow me on social media, and if you're not, you should be, but you would have seen that I've been posting some things about the healthcare industry, as well as about the energy sector of Houston. See, Houston's known for oil and energy, right? But what kind of gets foreshadowed is the strength, not only the strength of the Houston healthcare industry, but also how it's continuing to grow. All right. So now that is great if you are in real estate. Now, why is that great if you're in real estate? Well, I'm glad you asked. The reason that it is great if you are in real estate, that the healthcare industry continues to grow and swell, is because when people get jobs and when people are relocating, then they need a place to stay. And who's the best client? Somebody that got a job. So if you talk, if the majority of jobs are going to people that are in the healthcare industry, do you think it might be good to start creating some level of niche or target marketing to attract those kinds of people? Since even if you look at this headline here where it's saying that healthcare jobs and demand are outpacing available space. In the commercial sector, they don't even have enough space to house all the people that the healthcare industry needs. I read another article that talked about it was like 10 different new development projects that are in play right now on the books from these major hospitals that are here in our city. Listen, you are in the city that has the largest medical center in the world. The Texas Medical Center down here, right 5 minutes away from the Brooks and Davis office, is the largest medical center in the world. This is the city that you're in right now. It just makes sense for you to focus on that level. Even in this little picture right here, these are the top 25 employers in the city of Houston. Let me tell you who's number one and number two. Number one is Memorial Hermann Health System that has almost 20,000 employees. Number two is the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, which has almost 20,000 employees. Does it just make sense that you might want to focus and take another look at the medical industry? See, we hear a lot about oil. We hear a lot about energy. But the real opportunity is in medical field when it comes to the city that we're in. Now, I attended an event, the Houston Black Real Estate Association Lunch and Learn. We had E.L. Crane, he's with Metropolitan Title, and he spoke about a concept called Market Wire. And the point of it was about you building alliances. one of the organizations that he brought up, and again, I just got this information yesterday. That's why I really encourage you all to go to these events, to get educated and get exposed to different things, because that's how you're going to be able to connect dots. And see, you got to be able to connect dots if you want to make $1 million of income in a 12-month span in our business. It's possible, but you're not just going to get it by sitting on your butt. You got to be smarter. You got to work smarter, man. I'm not even sitting here talking about hard work. I'm talking about smart work, putting effort into things, into the right things for you to make money. So the association that he brought up that I had no idea even existed was the Texas Association of Healthcare Recruitment, an association of healthcare recruiters. Are you kidding me? We're talking about Houston being the area that major healthcare relocations are taking place. And to make your job even easier, you can go to a centralized organization of all the people that are making the decisions and helping and assisting those people relocating. Do you think it would be good to have a relationship with one of those recruiters for when that recruitment is about to take place and they have to give a recommendation on a real estate company or a real estate person to work with? I just think it would be. So look, the healthcare industry from a marketing standpoint is wide open. It's just a matter of somebody taking some time, sitting down and putting a plan together. Now you guys know this. If anybody's open to doing it and creating a strategy around it, I'll strategize with you all day long. I ain't gonna execute it. You gotta execute it, but I will strategize with you all day long when something like this. And again, the opportunity is wide open. I cannot say it enough. I cannot say it enough. Okay, so I feel like it's been too long before y'all see my face. So I just need to show you my face that I'm still here. I'm still a human being talking about these things. So our next mode is because we have this opportunity when it comes to working a booth, right? When it comes to positioning yourself and putting you in a position to where you can capitalize on the 5% that we're offering of the production of agents that you recruit. Since now we have the booth coming up in a couple of weeks, and you can go work that booth and you can go recruit some individuals and create you some mailbox money, get you some income that is being generated off of somebody else's efforts, which is really the American dream. That's what the American dream is. See, listen, you say you own your own business. No, you don't own your own business until that business is making money without you being there. If you have to be there for that business to make money, then you just have a job. It's a glorified job, still a job. So you don't own your own business yet, but we can get you there because see, if somebody else is out there working and you're getting checks, now you have a business that is producing money for you. See, businesses are supposed to produce income so you can fund the life that you want to live. See, you're not supposed to be here working for money. Money's supposed to be working for you. Money is supposed to be funding what you want to do, not vice versa. You're not supposed to be spending all your time to try to get money. So, but we're gonna get it worked out. You stay with Brooks and Davis long enough. We're gonna flip that thing right, and we're gonna get it worked out to where we can get you operating in the right way. So, since we have that event coming up on the 30th, I wanted to spend some time talking about, feeding your database. That's what I want to talk about, feeding your database. So let's look at what we have here. Feeding your database. And when I'm talking about feeding your database, I'm talking about feeding your database in big chunks. See, that's the point of working a booth, right? And it's not just, I'm talking about any booth, whether that's the Texas Black Expo, whether that's at the Georgia Brown event, whether you get a booth at your church, whatever marketplace, booth, conference. The point of it is for you to feed your database. That's the point of it. See, a lot of people go to booths. They want to go pick up leads. I get it. But that's not why you should go to work a booth. See, working a booth, the byproduct is to pick up a lead. That's the byproduct. The point should be go to feed your database and to feed it in massive chunks. See, you can go out there and you can go knock on doors and you can go to networking event and you may pick up, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 business cards, 3 people that you can add to your database. But when you go work a booth, whether that's the, you know, they have the the wedding expo, you know, you hit that. I mean, so many opportunities to have booths at places. The point of it is if you go work a booth, you're not walking away with 1 or 2 or 3 business cards. You're walking away with a laundry list of names and contact information if you do it the right way. Okay, so you want to feed your database in big chunks. Well, how do you do that? Well, the first thing you want to do is that you always want to promote to your audience that you're out and about, that you're active. See, people like activity. People want to work with people that they know are out there actively engaged in doing things. So social media is one of the best vehicles for you to look like you are all over the place. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to market whatever event that you're going to have a booth at. You want to market that to your audience. Now, whether they come or not, it's a couple of things that may happen. Number one, you may be exposing your audience to something that they didn't know about. You may be exposing them to an event that they didn't know about. So that's good, you providing a level of value to your audience. The second thing is that the person that you purchased the booth from, well, when they're going to see it as if you're marketing their event for them. So there's going to be a level of reciprocity when it comes to that, even to a point to where you may be able to convince that person to give you the attendees' contact information. And that's the biggest win right there. If a person that you're doing an event, a booth at, if you can get them to give you all the registrants' information, oh man, you didn't hit the jackpot, baby. You didn't hit the jackpot. Because again, what that's going to do is that's going to put you in a position to where you can feed your database in big chunks. That's what you want to do. At the end of the day, your database is like a baby. Okay. First of all, everybody wants kids. As a real estate agent, you better want a baby. All right. Your baby is your database. Think about your database, just like with a kid, you got to feed it. If you don't feed your database, just like if you don't feed your kid, it's going to die. And don't nobody want no dead baby. So you got to feed your database. You also got to nurture your database. So it's one thing for feeding it, but just like with your kid, if you feed it too much, but you don't give it nourishing food, you don't take it out to run around in the park and do none of that other stuff, then it's not going to be a healthy kid. It's going to be an obese kid. It's not good for the kid. So you want to nurture your database, right? So you want to call your database, check on people. You want to invite them to events. You want to take them out for lunch. You want to take them out for happy hour. Like you want to nurture your baby. You want to nurture your database. And just like with a kid, if you raise them right, you get a return on investment. Because when you get older and you need somebody to take care of you, if you raise your kids right, they're going to give you some grandkids. They're going to slide you some money if they're successful. They're going to make sure you don't go to the nursing home. You got to raise your kids right. Same thing with your database. If you nurture your database, you take care of your database, they're going to take care of you. They're going to send you referrals. They're going to do repeat business with you. You're going to make a lot of money from nurturing your database. So that's what your database is like. You got to feed it. You got to nurture it and take care of it. And it's going to take care of you. So you market. So you market on social media. You market through your sphere of influence, which is, so when I say database, I'm really talking about your sphere of influence, right? Now, inside of your database, you're probably going to have a top 100 or a top 50. Those are the people that you're going to want to spend additional time and energy with. But the sphere of influence is the same thing as your database. All right. Those are the people that you're working around, the people that's around you. You got to say that's your sphere of influence. So you want to let them know. Those are the people that you want to see that you're being active as well. So you can do that through sending an email, which is probably the most efficient way to do it. You know, if you have a text message or if you're on a group meet, say you're on a group meet with your kids' t-ball team or football, little league football team or something like that. Like whatever organization that you're a part of, people need to know you do real estate. And yeah, you need to send the messages in there about what's going on with the actual team, or let's say with your church and your usher board and any of that stuff, but every now and again you want to slide in there something. And I'm not saying bombard these people with real estate stuff. Do not do that, because that's the quickest way to get people to tune you out. What I'm saying is that every now and again you touch them and you remind them that you do real estate. And you don't say, hey, can help me buy a house? You do something like this. Hey guys, just want to let you know that my real estate company is going to be having a booth at this event on this day. So see, you ain't made no hard sell. It wasn't a hard touch, but what it was it was a reminder to them that you're still in this business, you're still doing real estate. Okay, so you want to market the event to your sphere of influence. You want to create an event on Facebook. You have first of all, I ain't even finna say if you have a Facebook page. You better have a Facebook page. Not only do you better have a Facebook page, you better have a personal Facebook page and a business Facebook page. See, something else that I learned when I was in Galveston at the Texas Association of Realtors Conference, I learned that if you solicit business on a personal page, that's actually against Facebook's policy, and they can shut your Facebook page down. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people didn't know that. But that's the truth. You cannot solicit business or promote business of what you do on your personal Facebook page. If you do it, Facebook will shut your page down. And if you got 1,000 friends, 2,000, like me, have 4,900 friends, they gone. And they done shut your page down. Now, you get a business page, man, you can market that thing all day long. And let me tell you the good thing about a business page. Now, look, come up real close. Don't say too loud, because I don't want Facebook to get hip to it. See, when you have a business page, what you can do is that you can post your business stuff on your business page, and then you can share it on your personal page. See, that's not against Facebook policy. They cool with that. You just can't post it on your personal page. But if you don't have a business page, you can't do that. So that's why you need to have a personal page. You need to have a business page. And the reason that you want to share it on your personal page, because most of y'all have more friends on your personal page than you have likes on your business page. So it gets you in front of more people when you do it that way, and it protects you from Facebook coming down with the hammer and shutting you down. Okay, now so you want to create an event. So you want to even do more than that. You want to create an event, and you want to market the event of you being at the booth. So the event is not, you're not creating an event, and we'll use Champion School of Real Estate as an example. You're not going on your Facebook page and creating an event for the Champion School of Real Estate Career Fair. You're going on your Facebook page and you're creating an event for a person to visit your booth at the Champion School of Real Estate Career Fair. See, it's a difference. The event is not for champions. The event is for somebody coming to see you at the Champions Career Fair. That's the event. And that's what you want to promote, and that's what you want to send throughout your Facebook community. Okay, you want to capture information digitally. Listen, the days for paper and pen are gone. Please embrace the fact that you need to stop using paper and pen. It was such a great technology. It was created years and years ago by the Egyptians, but no longer do we need paper and pencil. We have smartphones, we have tablets, we have Bitly links, we have Google Forms, we have Evernote, we have so much stuff. We have cameras that can capture data and upload. Like, we have so many resources that makes paper and pen obsolete. But the reason why paper and pen will not become obsolete is because y'all will not stop using it. Y'all just really want to use paper and pen. When you're working these booths, remember, now you're trying to get as many people as possible to plug into your database, to feed your database, right? Well, do you think that it may be a limiting factor, the paper and the pen, and how to efficiently capture that information, if everybody that comes to your booth has to stop, bend down, and write their name, email address, phone number, address? Like, do you think you could get more information out of people if you had them type it rather than write it? See, you got to create things to where you can capture information digitally. Let me tell you what I do, or what we do when we have a booth. When we have a booth, we've used Google Forms, which is free. Inside of our Google Forms, we ask things like your first name, last name, what's your phone number, what's your email address, What's your mailing address? We can even ask you questions like, hey, how did you hear about the event? Are you interested in somebody calling you to buy a house? Are you interested in somebody calling you to sell a house? And and they just click a button, boom, you put it in there. You leave them a little box. If they want to add in additional comments, they don't have to. But I've captured a person's information, hey, in less than 60 seconds. Boom, got it. And not only have I captured that information, once they type it in, it's automatically sent to a spreadsheet. So I ain't got to come back and take my little handwritten sign-in sheet where I can't read the people's email addresses and I can't read their phone numbers because people's handwriting is so bad, and try to figure out what the information is supposed to be. So now I don't have to come back and take a whole another 2 hours and type all this information in to the spreadsheet. See, we're talking about leveraging my time, because I need to be out there and I need to maybe be looking through the list and calling those people that said they was interested in buying a house, or calling those people that said they was interested in selling their house. Like, I need to be following up with them people, or following up the person that says, hey, I'm be looking to buy in the next 12 months. I need to be getting them plugged in to my database or to my MailChimp, or my automatic drip campaign. See, that's why I need to be spending my time. I don't need to be spending it going in and typing people's names into a spreadsheet. So the software with Google Forms, it automatically adds it in there. And guess what? So you create the Google form, right? The Google's gonna give you a link. Like Google Forms gives you a link. You can go to Bitly link, which is free, which is another software that I learned about by attending a conference, right? I'm not listening to me. I'm not creating this stuff. I'm no better than anybody else. I'm no different than anybody else. I just go to stuff. I just read books. I just go to workshops. I just listen to quality content on the radio. Like, I'm no different than anybody else, right? I just gather information. It's all about knowledge. We're in the information age, people. There's information flowing to and fro out of here. I don't know why we're not capturing it and utilizing it. So we got Google Forms. It gives you a link. You go to Bitly link, because Google Forms gonna give you this big, long, drawn out link, right? But that's too long. So you go to Bitly links. Bitly links is not only gonna shrink the link for you, it'll allow you to name it. So you can have, so it'll be like bit.ly, bit.ly / and then you put career fair sign in, or booth registration, or whatever, just something small. You can take that little link. Then what you can do is that you can have people go to that link on your tablet. So now they tapping their information in on their tablet, on your smartphone. They're tapping their information in on your smartphone, or you can put the Bitly link on the sign, and on that sign, the people would just go to it and they will type the information in there. Or they have these softwares to where a person can text a number, and when they send a text and they'll text a word to that number, then that number is going to automatically send them the text to their phone, or the link to their phone. All they got to do is click it, put the information in there. Boom. See, that's the kind of stuff you need to have set up if you're going to try to capture a whole lot of people's information, right? And so you're not sitting there and like, who's more effective? The person that has a checklist, bulletin check, and they're sitting there asking, so what's your name? They're writing it down. What's your email address? They're writing it down. Are you looking to buy a house in the next 12 months? Like, how long would that take? So who is that person more efficient, or the person that says, here, text this number, they text it, they get the link, they click on it, now they're entering in the information. This other person that's talking the person through it and writing it down can only talk to one person at once. The other person that has the link set up, the sky's the limit how many people can be, how much information that person can be capturing at any given moment. See why digital is so strong and why you need to kind of let the paper and the pen go? Because it allows you to be more effective. See, real estate's a numbers game. The one who has more numbers is the one that's able to get more numbers in their bank account, right? See, it's a numbers game. So digital is going to give you an edge. Even with the whole Evernote business card capture. So if you go to like one of these expos, like a conference, like a sales network conference or MBA or something like that, and say you have a booth there, well, more than likely you're going to have a lot of business people, and they have business cards, right? So yeah, you can still use the whole digital piece to where they capture their information, but Evernote has it now to where you can take a picture of their business card and it'll automatically send them a link to their LinkedIn, and it'll send them an invite, and it'll also email them the information. Only if you got an iPhone. That's a plug. Hey, you Android users, y'all can't do that with Evernote, so you probably should get an iPhone. Anyway, it allows you to email them your contact information, and boom, all you gotta do is take the picture, and it'll automatically add it into your contacts if you want. So it's too much software out there for us to be operating as inefficiently as we operate. Okay, now it's one thing to have the booth. So you got the booth, you market it on social media, you got your digital thing set up. The people aren't just going to come to your booth. You have to intentionally draw them to your booth. You can't just go in there, because most booths going to give you 2 chairs. Go in there, sit in the chair, and just wait for somebody to show up. 9 times out of 10, that's not going to happen. And what ends up happening is, however much money you spend on the booth and on your marketing materials and the time that you spend on setting it up, is all going to be for nothing, because you weren't able to draw the people to your booth. So you want to draw the people to your booth. Well, how do you do that? Well, first of all, get up, right? Now, that's one of my, I'll come back to that. The first thing you want to do is that you want to have content and items that people care about. Figure out at the booth, what would people be concerned with? Don't just have a table with a bunch of stuff on it, because you're going to get about 3 seconds of people's attention. Literally 3 seconds. Like, you're not going to get any more than that. It's going to be like an Arabian bazaar, right? It's going to be a bunch of booths. It's going to, look, we're creatures. We're natural creatures. So we're quickly distracted. Like, we're in the society now where things move so quickly that our attention is, boom, it's out of there. So you're going to be in an area where there's a bunch of noise, a bunch of people moving around. You better have something that's going to capture people's attention, because all you're going to get is 3 seconds. So if you got content and it's not going to catch them in them 3 seconds, if it's too much for people to get through, for them to pay attention, you're out of there. So you got to be intentional about the content that you're going to have on your table. The second thing is, you need to have a drawing. See, people need motivation to give you their information. They're not just going to give you their information. So you have to encourage them in some way for them to want to give it to you. So the way you do it is that you say, hey, look, here's information about us. Go ahead and log in, get this information. So, and you can have we can put you in for a drawing for, $25 gas card. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. $15 gas card, $15 Starbucks card. If you're going to a business thing, $15, $15 Starbucks card. And what's an even great marketing play for you is that actually do the drawing, and whoever wins the drawing, you take a picture of them, blast that thing on social media. People like that kind of stuff, right? So you want to do a drawing, because that's the way for you to capture the people's information. All right. So now, candy. Candy is magical. I don't know why candy is so magical. Maybe it takes us back to our childhood. But people like candy. All you got to do is have a jar of candy on your table, and people will come to it, and they will eat the candy. I'll do it. I went to the trade show at the Texas Association of Realtors conference, and guess what I did? I went to the booths that had candy, and I got their candy. I don't know what it is about candy, but you want to make sure that you have a bowl of candy on your table, and people will come and they'll eat your candy. All right. Bright lights, video, projectors, man, make that stuff look cool. Like, the content could be not worth nothing, but if you have it on a big video projector behind you, trust me, you're going to get people's attention. Remember, there's a lot of stuff going on in the booth, and people are looking for the shiny objects. It's like a deer in headlights. We look for the shiny objects. Wherever the shininess is, that's where we go. It's human nature. So have it bright lights, have video going, have a projector going, just a bunch of moving pieces, and boom, you're going to get people to come see what's going on, because we nosy. Humans are nosy. So we want to see kind of what's going on. I thought it was cool when I was in the Texas Association of Realtors, and one booth had what they were doing, they were taking pictures. So you could, they had a lady, and she had on all black, had her legs showing, she's looking kind of cute. And she had a piece of paper. She was like, hey, you want to get your picture taken? She had an example of you know, the people was just taking pictures in a funny background. They had a little green screen, and they would take the picture, print the picture out for you, put it in the frame, boom, give you the picture. So now, at their booth, you got all these people, because all she's doing is she's just kind of hovering around. Hey, you want to get your picture? Get in this line. So I look up, and there's a lot of people just there waiting to get their picture taken. Now, do you think that's a grand opportunity to capture people's contact information? First of all, they're standing in line. They're literally standing in line. Now, I didn't get in line because I didn't want to. I was like, I'm not going to stand in line and take no picture. I'm not going to do it. She's like, oh, but it's free. Look, man, my time is worth more than money. I'm not going to stand in this line to take no picture. I'm going to go. So I didn't stand in line. But there was a lot of people that were in line. So there's an opportunity from a networking standpoint for them to educate them on what their product is, as well as to capture their information. So bright lights, videos, projectors. Post on social media real time. Like you're at your booth, take pictures. Dude, we got Facebook Live now. Oh man, Facebook Live. So we got Facebook Live, take pictures. We got Snapchat, snap that thing. It's so many things that you should be doing real time to, again, show your audience what it is that you're doing and how you're taking advantage of it. Okay. So now, please don't sit down on the job. Oh my God. When I was in Galveston, and I'm seeing these people and they're at booths and they're sitting behind the table with all the stuff. They're just sitting there in the seat. And I'm like, oh my God, really? You're gonna come to the booth. Now everybody's in the aisles. Everybody's kind of in the aisles. You guys been to booths before. We're in the aisles, we're mingling, we're walking, we're talking to people. And you're gonna sit behind the table, blocked from everybody else, sitting in the seat. Like, don't do that. If you have a booth, or when you have a booth, number one, I am an advocate for not even doing the whole table blocking thing, right? So I like to have my booth open. So what you can do is, what'll happen is it'll draw people into your booth area. See, when you put the table covering the entrance to your booth, then you're doing yourself a disservice. So you can handle more people when you can draw them into the space. So what you do is you take the table and you put it to the side, have your area open, and then you're able to stand and direct and talk and engage with the people that are in the crowd. See, so that's how I'm an advocate of having booths that way, right? All right, but whatever do not sit down. Like, that is such a waste of time, energy, and effort. You will not get any return on investment because that's just not how it happens. All right, so don't sit down. All right, and then also you want to take pictures while you're at the event. You want to take pictures of the other booths. You want to take pictures of the people that attend. And what's not on my list is that you want to, and again, this is if you have multiple people working your booth, you want to take some time to go around and visit with the other vendors. Now, most people do that towards the end because when things get light, the attendance starts thinning out, then you may want to take some time to go walk around and see who are some of the vendors, kind of talk to them, maybe even capture their contact information. See, so now look, if you're on your smartphone or your tablet, you can take it with you and you can now get the other vendors' contact information. See, it's just like, it just makes it so much more effective and productive when you do it this way. There's another event that Brooks just reminded me of by putting this flyer on my desk. It's another booth opportunity. So not only do we have the career fair, but we actually just purchased our booth at this home buying and lifestyle expo, which is going to be October 15th. So in about a month or so. So, well, there's going to be probably 2 sign-up geniuses going out, one for the Champion School of Real Estate and one for this event here. But the principles are going to be the same for both, right? It's an opportunity. And when you work the booths, those are your leads, right? Now, we'll probably have April or somebody there to get Brooks and Davis. If you guys are just going to be sitting on a job and not attending, we're going to capture the leads. This isn't something that this is something that we do. Like, this is something that helps give a solid foundation to the company itself. So these are tried, true experiences. It's another opportunity. And at the Home Buyer and Lifestyle Expo, these are actual home buyers. These are actual people maybe being move-up buyers. These are people that you can, leads that you can capture if you do it and work it the way that I've talked about today. Work through these steps. Take the consideration and be intentional about, from a marketing standpoint, the creating the events. The biggest thing is the digital capturing mechanism, and the draw and the engagement. The digital the digital capture mechanism, the things to draw the individuals and to engage. You do those three things, man, you're gonna walk out of there in such, and see, when you create the digital capture mechanism, you gotta have something in place to where people are identifying if they have a need. So in ours, we ask them, are you looking to, would you like somebody to call you? So we'll say, what would you like, right? And then we give them an option. Would you like somebody to call you because you're interested in purchasing a home in the next 12 months? Would you like somebody to call you because you're interested in selling your home? Would you like somebody to just call you to discuss a real estate matter? Are you interested in getting into the real estate industry, right? And they can pick a checkbox. So now when Google goes back and it creates me my spreadsheet, all I got to do is go to my spreadsheet and sort it by the question. So I can get all the people that said I'm interested in buying a house. I can get all those people in one section. All the people that said they're interested in selling a house, all the people that said they're interested in getting in real estate, I can get them all in a section. And then you have one that says not interested in nothing. Well, guess what? Guess what I get to do? So now I get to call the most important people first, instead of trying to call everybody to figure out if there's an opportunity or not. They've already told me where the opportunity lies. So now I just got to follow up with the right people, and I want to make sure I follow up with my hot people. I've identified my hot people. I want to follow up with them first, so I don't miss out on them going back and dealing with the bottom feeders that said that they didn't need anything at the time. So it allows you to be more efficient, effective, and it puts you in a position to where you can make more money, because again, real estate is a numbers game. So the better that you can get through the numbers, the better that you can filter through, the better you put yourself in a position to feed your database. Feed your database. That's what you want to do. You want to feed it. Okay, so let's wrap things up with talking about some conflict resolution. A little bit of conflict resolution. So again, Texas Association of Realtors Conference, and I'm probably going to be pulling from this stuff for who knows how long, because I got so much content, man. I've been pulling from this conference for the last Saturday, all this week, because Saturday was the last session, all this week. And you can ask April, you can ask my wife, you can ask all kind of other, some agents specifically. I sent them things. I've been pulling and sending out stuff from this conference all week long. So here's something else. Now, one of the sessions that talked about negotiations, this came up. So rule number one in that talk, when it came to negotiations and being effective in negotiating, the name of the session was Negotiations, the games people play. That was the name of it. Negotiations, the games people play. So rule number one is negotiate for mutual gain. This was a big aha moment for me when they said this. And the reason that it was an aha moment for me was because the presenter said, when it comes to negotiations, and I had heard this before because I read a book, I can't remember what the book was, but I know it was about negotiating. And it talked about the U.S. way of negotiating and the Soviet way of negotiating. So it said that the U.S. way of negotiations is that we look for a win-win, look for mutual gain. That's the way that the United States negotiates. When it comes, and when we're saying negotiate, we're talking about on a diplomatic level, right? So say somebody gets kidnapped, and you have to send a negotiator over there to negotiate, or maybe there's a hostage situation, or maybe there's a coup, or something from a high level diplomatic country stance. Okay, So the U.S. it's a win-win. It's like, what can we do to negotiate and we gain mutual gain, right? Well, it said that the Soviet way of negotiation was a win-lose. The Soviets want to win, and they're gonna win, and there's nothing that you can do about it, and they could care less about you losing, but you're gonna lose. Here, matter of fact, the Soviets are even willing to lose just as long as they don't lose as much as you lose. It could be a lose-lose, right? But that's the Soviets. The Soviets way is that we got to fare better than you. Okay. So now, what the young lady was talking about here at this in this session, and the aha moment for me was that the biggest issue when it comes to negotiations falling off or breaking up, because I know a lot of us, especially if you're doing real estate in any level of time, you've been in a negotiating and you've been negotiating, you put time, you put energy, and then all of a sudden it just falls off the face of the earth. And it's so debilitating for that to happen because you can't get that time back. So what she talked about was like the number one reason was because somebody that was a party to the negotiation felt like they weren't being treated fairly. And that fairness is really what it's all about. And she gave some scenarios of about people will be willing to ultimately lose. They will be willing to kill it all if they felt like the other party is not being fair. So what does that look like? That looks like a buyer not going to the closing table and closing and losing their earnest money and being okay with it because they felt like the seller wasn't treating them fairly. What does that look like? That looks like a seller terminating a deal or a seller not accepting a buyer's offer, even if they came up to full ask, because they may originally gave them a lowball offer, offended them in such a way, and now said that they will never sell their house to that person, even if they gave them a full price offer, just because they felt like the buyer wasn't treating them fairly. So fairness is the biggest nugget when negotiating. When you're going back and forth with another agent, or even when you're speaking to your client, if they start getting up in arms, and I have an example, I'm dealing with a short sale client right now, and he's getting relocation assistance of $10,000 relocation assistance, but he has about $8,300 worth of liens that are against his business. So now we can go back to the lien holders and negotiate, but he's gonna have to pay attorney's fees, and it's a possibility that the buyer could walk because they feel like they may not be treated fairly and they're being dragged along in this thing. There's so many negative things that could happen to where he could just take the 10 grand, take the 8,300 out, and then just walk away with the 1,700. Well, he didn't want to do that. Now, again, this is free money. This is a short sale. He's behind on his mortgage. He owes them more than what is due, than it's worth. He was willing, and it came out of his mouth. He said, I'll let the house get foreclosed on before I don't get no money. And I had to remind him. I was like, but again, we're talking fairness. He just doesn't feel like he's being treated fairly. Because think about it. You would rather get nothing than just take the 1,700? Really? 1,700 of that they're giving to you because they don't need to give you nothing because you owe them money. But he said, I would rather walk away, let them take the house. Get zero. He'd rather get zero than at least get the 1,700. But what is it? Fairness. He doesn't feel like he's being treated fairly. He doesn't think it's fair for him to have lived in that house, and regardless of the situation, for him not to be able to get anything out of it. He didn't feel like that was fair. So that's what happened. All right. So then it talks about emotional behaviors. Again, conflict resolution. So typically when we get into it with people, there are 3 emotional responses that we can offer. Most people, and we say most, I'm going to say like 90%. 90% of inner conflict when it comes to individuals, the reactions are this. Either somebody reacts like a parent and they're demanding, like this guy right here on the phone. They're yelling at you. They're demanding, you're not going to do this. We ain't going to do that. They act like a parent. Okay. The other, if they don't go that direction, then they go the complete opposite and they act like a child. They whine. I can't believe you're doing me like this. I can't believe I'm getting treated like this. And this typically those are the two natural tendencies that people have when it comes to conflict, when it comes to emotional behaviors. Now, the third one, which is I need you all to be, is that I need you to respond as an adult, right? So that's what the A stands for, adult. And what that means is that understand that a person may be reacting to you as a parent. They're demanding, they're this, they're that. Well, this is where the level of skill comes in. First of all, it's about mutual gain. How can you and I work together to come to a resolution that's best for everybody? That's best for you, that's best for your client, that's best for me, that's best for my client, that's best for all parties involved. So regardless of how they're reacting to you, you allow them to react, you take a moment to gather your composure and yourself, and then you stay focused on gain. And as long as you stay focused on the mutual gain, then you can direct them to come off of the natural tendency of them being a parent and you guys dialoguing to get through the negotiation. Because see, typically, if what happens is if a person comes at you and their natural tendency is to be a parent, you are probably going to either respond as a parent and try to be more of a parent than them, or as a kid. And then now they're just kind of berating you, but you're passive aggressive and you're dealing with the challenges and the issues internally, right? Well, you can't do that because that's how the negotiation and the conflict blows up. And so you have to be the adult, have to have the sound mind to navigate the other people's emotions so we can get to the resolution that we're all trying to get to that's best for everybody that's involved. So that's my little talk on conflict resolution. Again, I just gave you guys the highlights of what I spoke about. If anybody's interested in going into more in depth of anything in particular that I talked about today, please reach out to me so I can get you the depthness, the additional slides that go to these things, and maybe the notes that I took, so you can have more of a larger view of the things that I talked about. So again, reach out to me, even if you're looking at this video at a later date on YouTube or whatever. If you're interested in anything that I spoke about and you want more in-depthness of any of these concepts that I brought up from the conference, let me know and I can get that information to you. Okay, so that's it for today. Ms. Powell, Mr. Green, do you all have anything, any coaching that you need from me before we sign off on this lovely Friday?
No, not at this time.
Okay, good.
Later.
Okay. I'll be looking for it. I'll be looking out. And Ms. Powell, do you need anything? Are you good? Looks like she's good. All right, well, guys, I appreciate you taking part today. Again, it's a lot of stuff going on with the company, a lot of opportunities that are coming up. Look out for the Sign Up Genius. Make sure, Ms. Powell. Okay, make sure that, please make sure that you're getting the group me text messages as well as the emails, because those are the mechanisms that I use to communicate. So if you're not on the group me, then you're missing a lot of stuff, because there are a lot of times and I'll send something in the group me and I never ever send an email. So if you're not getting the group me messages, please let me know. We need to get together.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what was going on. But I was wondering if Brooks had reached out to William, the referral I had gave you.
Don't y'all work together?
Yeah.
Did he say he hadn't got a call?
I haven't been to work in like a week.
What have you been doing?
Whoa.
I'm all in your business. Okay. I wrote with you. Okay, so you haven't been working a week. All right, well, what I'll do is when we get off, I'll follow up with Brooks. And what's his last? William what?
Griffin.
William Griffin. Okay.
Again?
Yeah, text me his information again. Because again, whether Brooks wants to or not, because sometimes he act like he don't want to get to 50 agents by the end of the year. but we're gonna make sure we get there. So text me the information again, and we'll make sure that that follow up takes place, so we can get you that 5% override. Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay. If again, if there's anything else, make sure you guys on the group me. Make sure you're getting the emails. Enjoy the beautiful weather that we have, and that's all that I have, man. I'm gonna end it out with my theme music, man. I like this music, man. I'm gonna be ending it out so I can bob my head a little bit, as we fade out. We fade out to create your new life today. So you guys have a great week, and we'll be in touch with you soon. Let's do it. Ah, yeah. Y'all have a good week.